First and foremost, tell me about yourself.
Well, I'm from a town called Jeanette. I don't know if you're familiar with the area or not, but it's right outside Pittsburgh.
I went to school in Latrobe. So.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, so I'm from there. I didn't go here all 4 years. I was a freshman at Till College. I was playing football.
Okay.
I chose IUP because I was going to come here to play football, but I decided to get a job and just kind of pursue communications and try and get a job when I got out of school because you could tell by looking at me, I'm not going to be in the NFL or anything making money one day. So decided to do that. I'm not going to use the word hardworking because that's what everyone uses, but I like to be a very busy person. I like to have everything going on and know where everything is in order all the time. And that's, you can kind of see by my resume, I do like a bunch of different things like all throughout the week, and I hold a couple jobs. But I mean, the kind of person I am, when I graduate, the goal is to do something that I love every day. So I guess that's the kind of type of person that I really am.
Okay, cool. You said you were juggling a bunch of different activities, and I was looking over your resume. So you're in charge of a couple of different radio shows on campus.
Yeah.
Could you go ahead and?
Yeah. Well, today's actually my radio show. 4 to 5 every Monday. I run Sports Talk Live. So just me and 3 or 4 other guys on the radio. We talk about what's going on in sports. So today would be baseball playoffs. Since it's the first day. Yesterday was the final day of the season. The NFL and NCAA football. Then cover other sports that are going on. I do that on Tuesdays. I'm a producer of a TV show too, so I make all the content, set up who goes on what show, do the camera work, all that stuff. I write for the newspaper here too, so I do that. I have to write between 3 and 4 articles every day because I'm the lead sports writer, so I have to have an article in every single paper.
Okay, and what kind of articles you guys do?
Well, right now I have the basketball beat for the school, but it's not in season, so I already did all the stuff about like newcomers and everything, the freshmen and transfers.
Okay.
I have a field hockey beat for the women's team, so every single week I have to talk to them, interview them, get stuff for the paper, put it in, what's going on with their season. I do a Steelers stock every Tuesday. It goes in, so whatever happened the last week and what's going on. And I usually do specials, like I'm doing like Natalie Signetti right now, the IUP football coach, because she just got Player of the Week last week for volleyball. So I'm doing a story on her and getting to talk to her family, get parts for the article too.
Sweet. And you're saying something about a TV show. What do you guys do for the TV show?
Yeah, that's the one I produce. And so basically I'll pick what I want on the show. So this week would be NFL, Major League Baseball special. So it'll be a 30-minute segment with 4 people on. And I'll write all the questions down. One guy will ask all the questions. The other 3 will answer them. We'll put highlights and graphics up over them in some spots when they're talking. And the rest will be like NFL, NBA, I said MLB, but NCAA football and things like that.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's all camera work pretty much.
Where does this get played?
In the bottom of Davis, there's there's 2 studios, and then there's a control room. And normally I'm in the control room, but I usually put myself on too, so I'll talk about a sport and go on, so I'll do both. But, there's the basement Davis, that's where the radio station is too. Everything's pretty much done down there for communications.
Okay, cool. So what year you said you're going to be a senior this year? Or?
Yeah, well, when I transferred, I only brought in 13 credits because the 17 other I took didn't transfer here. So I came here and I was pretty backed up, but I'm going to graduate on time. I'm going to walk in May and have 9 credits, so I'm going to get a 9-credit internship in the summer. Okay. So I'm going to walk, but just not get my degree till the fall.
Okay, makes sense. What would you say your greatest strength is as far as communication background goes?
Wow, that's tough. I'd probably have to say interpersonal communication, face-to-face.
Okay.
To me, that's to do with the most thing, because if you're looking at someone face-to-face and you guys can just talk things out, be on the same page, and that's the best form of communication in my mind. So I'd have to say that.
Absolutely. What would you say your greatest weakness is then?
My greatest weakness? I could say one thing I do, since I do juggle a lot at the same time, I can get stressed out a lot, but at the same time, I really don't let it affect my work, because not only does what I'm doing affect me, it affects other people too. But I do get stressed out a lot, but I usually just try and relax and just wait till I get it. I do all this just so I can be successful after school, so
okay, cool.
I'd say that.
Why did you want to enter communications initially?
Well, growing up, I always had a love for sports, one thing. I did want to do sports management growing up when I went to Till, or when I decided to go to Till, but they didn't have that. So I felt media communications was the next closest thing to that. And I ended up loving it a lot more because I didn't know you could do radio and you could still write and do other things like that. So once I found out I could do all that, I knew that IUP had a really good communications program because I did a lot of research before I came here, and it was top 10 in the state by a lot of websites and everything. So I decided that this is probably the best move, and it ended up being a lot better than sports management in my mind.
Cool. So this is kind of an abstract question, but
Okay.
if you had to be a kitchen appliance, which one would you be and why?
A kitchen appliance.
Kitchen appliance.
Wow. That's crazy. I'm gonna say knife.
Knife?
I'm gonna say knife because I'm tough, and I get down to it. So I'd say I could cut the hardest meats because that's the kind of person I am. I'm all about business when it's time to be about that.
Okay, cool. Think here. So you are right now. So right now you're writing for the paper. You're doing two different radio shows and the TV show.
Correct.
And how many credits are you taking?
17, and I also have 2 jobs too.
And how are you juggling all that?
Keep a schedule. I have a calendar in my room. I have the notes is my best friend on my phone. I put everything in my notes. I have timers on everything. I just feel like if I could do this all now, then I could do it later too, especially when I have a family and kids. So that's kind of how I keep everything in order.
Definitely. And I saw you were trying to apply for a position with the MLB.
That was one I saw in the fall that I would have liked to do, but it was going towards, it would be this semester, so it was too late. But there are a lot. I've had interviews. I interviewed with the Pittsburgh Penguins to be the NHL.com writer last year, and I made it to the final cut before they decided to go with someone that has a hockey background, because I don't have a hockey background, and I knew that going in, so I wasn't too upset not getting the position. But, I mean, I would love to work for an NFL team, NCAA, basketball, anything, any kind of team, but I also wouldn't mind working in a charity department like the Pittsburgh Pirates charity and everything, because that to me would be pretty ideal.
Yeah, I saw you were doing something for MS, like a run or something like that.
Yeah, last year we had a basketball tournament that we raised about $200, and we decided the winning team. I let the winning team decide who they wanted to donate the charity to, but it had to be through an IUP charity source, and MS was one. Also, my mom has MS, so I was totally okay with doing that one.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, we had 8 teams, and we played a tournament style. So once you got 3 losses, you were out, and one team won, chose that. So that's how we ran that.
Cool. What did the team win after?
That was it. They got to decide. It was all for charity. Okay. A lot of it was like my friends, the people inside the TV station, but a lot of friends. It was it was a big weekend at IUP. So I made it a Sunday, and all their friends that were out from hometown all threw money, $5 or $10, and played also. So we did that way.
That's awesome. That's pretty cool. So tell me more about what is it? The Big Hit? Is that what it's called? Tell me what you're doing for them exactly.
Yeah, that's the TV show that I produced.
That's the TV show?
That's what it's called. Okay. Yeah.
So what was the 2 radio shows? What were they?
Sports Talk Live. I did that for 2 years and was just on 2 different separate shows for that. And one kid had a podcast here. That was the other radio show. That ended this year, but we're talking about bringing it back. My roommate's also in the same age as me. We're talking about getting it started. But the podcast is basically an hour long, and we talk about all the topics in sports too. So it's pretty identical to the Sports Talk Live, but it's just a podcast and not over the radio.
Okay, cool. And you're writing 4 articles a day for?
Not a day. There's 2
a week or?
2 articles. Yeah. So Tuesday and Friday edition come out every week. And I'm supposed to have 2 articles on Tuesday, 2 articles on Friday, so 4 a week. And they all have to be between 400 and 1,000 words.
Wow. Sounds like you've been a pretty busy man.
I like it like that. I can't be at home bored for I can't have more than an hour to myself. I just don't like doing that stuff.
So what internship are you doing over the summer?
I haven't decided. I mean, I felt like this was kind of the process to help me understand a little bit more what to do. And Mrs. Kepich is my teacher, and she seems pretty nice, and I hope that I can learn and see where I can go. But right now, I mean, one thing she told me, because I made my career objective before, she said it was too broad. But I feel like I'm a pretty broad person with all the things I do. So I don't want to just single out one thing and try and focus on that and get that when I could have a lot of different options. So I don't know. I mean, like I said, I want to do the charity department. I want to try that first. But if that doesn't work out, then I do want to do a communications internship with a sports team or be a writer for a team or a website.
Cool. Well, I think that pretty much wraps it up as far as the interview goes. So just a couple of